The former president of Nigeria, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, has taken a swipe at the Tinubu administration, describing the administration as the only government under our democracy that is competing with the Buhari administration in terms of inefficiency, otherwise known in Nigeria as cluelessness. Obasanjo is saying the most clueless governments are the Buhari government and the Tinubu government. And by the way, wholeheartedly, I agree with Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. I've always believed I see him as the best civilian president Nigerians will have. The most visionary. Obasanjo, he made his own mistakes, but when you subtract his negatives, he has a lot of positives he brought to Nigeria. We are going to be talking about those positives later. Obasanjo kind of leadership taught future leaders of Nigeria how to lead Nigeria. How can you compare Obasanjo presidency with the Tinubu presidency? Obasanjo, a Yoruba man like Tinubu, when he came to power, he did not flood his government with Yorubas. No. He taught Nigerians how to lead Nigeria without being tribalistic. All the juicy positions he gave to technocrats. The CBN governor was Charles Soludo. He wasn't a Yoruba man. The finance minister was Ngozi Iweala. He was not a Yoruba man. Okay? Even those who were heads of the military, they were not necessarily Yorubas. He was a purely detribalized president who was trying to teach Nigerians how to lead Nigeria. A man who will lead Nigeria well will not flood his government with his tribesmen like Tinubu has done, like Buhari did. Goodluck did well. By the way, those from minority hardly do tribalism and nepotism when they are in government. So, in terms of spreading appointments all through the country, Goodluck Jonathan did not do badly. But what do we have under Tinubu? All the juicy positions. You don't do that when you lead a country as multi-ethnic as Nigeria. So Obasanjo taught Nigerians how to be detribalized. As we go on, I'm going to say some good things that Obasanjo did that his successors did not build upon. And politicians will not allow young people to see the good in the leadership that Obasanjo did bring to this country. Because as the man continues to criticize one government to the other, politicians continue to defend the government of the day and attacking Obasanjo. Obasanjo was indeed a very visionary leader. Most of the things he did, the relics of the good he did in government, lives with us till date. Sometimes we have to leave the few negatives in his character and check the positives that he brings. Obasanjo remains to me the most visionary leader we've had since 1999. And I will give you reasons why I say so. Obasanjo had a vision, and I wish he had stayed longer. Trust APC, APC Lagos State, the Lagos State chapter of APC, did reply Obasanjo. So, the Lagos State APC replied Obasanjo. They said his criticism of Tinubu was disgraceful and hypocritical. Do I agree? No, no, no. That man criticizes government boldly because he knows he did better in his time. He criticized Goodluck. He criticized Buhari. He's criticizing Tinubu. Now, what difference did we experience between Obasanjo government and Tinubu? Does Obasanjo have the right to criticize Tinubu? Sure, he has the right. An old man who has led this country twice sees better than most people see. He's concerned about Nigeria. He means well for Nigeria. So he cannot see Nigeria rotting away, and he will not give an opinion. So Obasanjo is doing well as an elder statesman. That is what I think. Who they follow me? They misroad. The person when they attack Obasanjo now from the Lagos chapter of APC is Sheyi Oladejo. In a press statement that he called as the spokesperson of APC in Lagos State, Sheyi Oladejo said all these things about Obasanjo, and I disagree with him vehemently. You see, Obasanjo, I think, is the most intellectual president in the history of Nigeria, a PhD holder who show Nigerians that you can still go to school at any age. He wasn't a lazy man. Obasanjo has never been intellectually lazy. So this new book he has just written, Nigerian Past and Future, you see, it's just one of two publications he launched in March to mark his 88th birthday. I respect Obasanjo so much. Intellectual. At age 70, he went back to the university. He got his first degree, he got his master's, and he got his doctorate. He did not cheat. He did not allow any unnecessary favors while he was getting his degree at the National Open University of Nigeria. He wrote many books I'm not going to mention now. My interest in this broadcast is just to say Obasanjo has the right to criticize Tinubu and any government as long as he's still alive. Obasanjo says only the Tinubu government seems to be competing with Buhari in terms of inefficiency, incompetence, cluelessness so far. What do you expect? When Tinubu was gunning for this position, he promised Nigerians that he was going to continue wherever Buhari stops. And he has continued. The standard of living has gone so high, things have become more difficult. Rent has skyrocketed. I was paying 850,000 for a 3-bedroom flat. Guess how much it is now? It is now 3.5 million. Look at the leap. Salaries and income have not increased commensurately. That's a problem. So if Obasanjo says the Tinubu administration is competing with Buhari in terms of incompetence, is it not true? People tell us about the bold decisions that Tinubu is making. Of what use are bold decisions if it doesn't make life better for the people? A leader must not only toe the unpopular line. Your policies must have human face. As you are making unpopular decisions, you are still thinking of how these decisions bite hard on the people. So until you as a leader is able to put yourself in the position of the masses and act as such, not just telling us to have patience, our hopes will be renewed, but we are languishing. The cost of commodities continue to skyrocket. Presidents who were careful not to take some of those decisions were not fools. Goodluck Jonathan listened to the people like you, our current president, on the issue of subsidy. You must listen to the people. You must do things that will cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. The question had been, after the removal, the monies accrued, how did you utilize the money? You merely increase the state allocations. And most of our governors cannot be prudent with spending. So it's like wasted money. The question is, what did the federal government do with the money directly that is affecting the people? If you gave grants to states to share amongst their people, he who gives grants should be able to give condition for putting the grants into use. How far did you go at monitoring the state governors? In terms of how they spend the money, the people are not feeling it. The partial removal of subsidy that Goodluck Jonathan did, we saw it. We remember the Sure P. We saw Sure P vehicles in every state. I remember traveling from Lagos to Kaduna, going through Abuja then. Sure P luxurious buses and smaller buses were everywhere. I went to Mina. I went to Nasarawa. I saw it everywhere. What did Tinubu do? He increased allocation. That was just a political game, just to make sure all the governors are happy with him while preparing for 2027 election. He was more concerned about making the governors happy. And his people will say, oh, there's no governor in Nigeria today that doesn't like Tinubu. Because you know how our people are. More money means more to steal. More allocation means more to go into the pockets. Apart from a few governors that we can attest for. How many governors are really doing well? That is the point. It's not about enshrining unpopular policies. Yes, a leader should take some unpopular decisions. But even your unpopular decisions, in your bravery, must have human face. The whole essence of leading a people is to reduce their suffering. APC continues. He said Obasanjo's bitterness is well known. He cannot control this government and he resents that Nigeria has moved on from his brand of egocentric do or die politics. His habit of attacking sitting presidents when he no longer holds relevance has become predictable and pathetic. It's not true. Obasanjo is a nationalist. He's touched by what is going on in the country. He cannot keep quiet. It is not because he has no control of the government. That is part of him. He's an intellectual. Have I been keeping quiet? Personally, I have been criticizing Tinubu for over 20 years. I'm not keeping quiet. So why should Obasanjo keep quiet? So it's not because he's not controlling the government. Obasanjo does not give a damn who is happy about his criticism. Even good Lord Jonathan, that was in the same government with him, he criticized him. Even before Yaradua died, they were already at loggerheads because Yaradua did not continue some of his policies, like his reforms, power reforms, that people are blaming Obasanjo for. Obasanjo said it was caused by Yaradua, who allowed some of the equipment board to rot away because he took the advice of those who said he should not follow the policies of Obasanjo. So OBJ was not happy about that. So if Yaradua had lived long, Obasanjo would have criticized him. Members of the same party. Then he was still a proud member of PDP. We should use our common sense. When these politicians begin to talk, we should be able to analyze leaders based on our assessment orientation, evaluative orientation. So you don't allow politicians to deceive us. Obasanjo resents the fact that he cannot control the government. No, he's not interested in controlling the government. He just wants a government that will do well. Did he do well when he was president? Yes, he did. Oladejo went further. He said that Nigerians witnessed the highest level of corruption under the administration of the former president while advising him to show some level of decorum. That's not true. That's not true. It was under Obasanjo that EFCC was born. It is not the EFCC that is protecting members of APC now. That was not the EFCC Obasanjo established, that was headed by Nuhu Ribadu. It was a different EFCC. EFCC that was pursuing PDP governors, not the one that shields PDP governor because the government in seat of power is PDP, like we are seeing now. What has happened to Kogi State former governor, Yaya Bello? What happens to Ganduje that was caught on camera? What happened to that lady who was in charge of... Obasanjo did not tolerate that. That was when people like all Jews or Kalu were investigated. Many governors under PDP. One of the reasons that Yaradua became president was because he was not found wanting. He was a clean governor. He was a governor who left money in the purse of Katsina State, just like Peter Obi did. And some people will tell you, why will you leave money in the state purse you're supposed to use to do development? A father who does not save for the rainy day is a foolish father. You won't spend all the money to buy electronics in your house and fridge, and all that because your children want to enjoy. You say you are developing the well-being of your family. And because of that, you won't save for a rainy day. Those who say that don't have sense. When we say Peter Obi saved money for, he say, why should he save money? He should have used to do development. You will be doing development, and at the same time, you will save money. Because government is a continuum, and the person who takes over from you have to continue building if he's a good man. So, I disagree that corruption was more under Obasanjo. It's not true. How many of the ministers then were indicted under Obasanjo? How many? We had great technocrats.